Hi guys, the hero of today's episode will be Cayin MT-45MK3, also known as Cayin Jazz 80. This is a tube amplifier that's sold in Europe and probably other markets as Cayin Jazz 80, but you can get it directly from the manufacturer in China, and then it's called Cayin MT-45MK3. So this is the third generation of MT-45. There is a couple of differences between Jazz and MT-45. These differences are that. The first one, the Cayin Jazz comes with remote, and you have the input selector and the volume port on the other sides. And you can select the inputs and you can change the volume from your remote. The second difference is that the first versions, because this MT-45MK3, even though it's called Mark III, apparently it had some revisions along the way, and the first revisions didn't come with the slow start. This one comes with the slow start. The third difference is that Cayin Jazz always comes with Bluetooth, and in Mark III, in MT-45MK3, the Bluetooth is optional. You can buy version without Bluetooth input, or you can add some money and buy version with Bluetooth connectivity. Okay, I think these are all differences. If I remember something more, I'll put that in the description. Now, I forgot to power it on. Okay, it has two beautiful power level meters that have this orange glow that matches the glow of the tubes. And let's take the cage out. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, so there is also one difference regarding to the tube type between these two versions. The Cayin Jazz 80 comes with two 12AX7 tubes as a preamp section, two 12AU7 tubes as phase inverters, and KT88 tubes as a power tubes, or EL53 tubes as an option for the power output stage. The MT-45MK3, I hate that name, comes with KT88 as power tubes, and the first revisions of this amplifier, the first examples and pieces that I've seen circulating around the web, were coming with some kind of obscure preamp and phase inverter tubes that were really hard to get, and it was not very easy to do tube rolling with them. But at some point in time, the Cayin has changed slightly the design of the MK-45MK3 to match it closer to Jazz, Cayin Jazz 80, and the current revisions are coming with 12AU7 as phase inverters, exactly like in Cayin Jazz. But for the preamp section, we have ECF82, which are also called 6U8 tubes. And this is actually a good thing, because these tubes are quite popular. They are being produced by many manufacturers. You can get a lot of new old stock tubes from back in the day on eBay, for example, or in tube stores specializing in new old stock tubes. So it's very easy to get replacement, and it's very easy to play with tube rolling. Also, as you may have noticed or you may have not noticed, the Cayin right now comes with Amperex preamp tubes, which are basically very, very good. And Amperex is a very well regarded brand as for the tube producing. Okay, so let's power this off and let's give you a tour of the build. Well, the first thing is that it's really heavy. It weighs a little bit more than 16 kilograms. It's very heavy for such a small device. And heavy in this case is good because heavy usually means big and quiet transformers inside, and that's the case in this amplifier. Okay, so in front we have volume pot. The volume pot works not in a fluid way but in stages. I'm not sure if you can actually see that on video, but the volume pot stops, and if I'm moving it like that, it looks like it would be doing stops. Okay, the input selector on the right side of the device, we can switch between 3-line inputs and Bluetooth. And we also have a headphone connector, single-ended, big jack, standard headphone connector. I leave the top of the device for the end. Now, the back of the device and the sides and the whole device is covered with absolutely exquisite paint. It looks way better than the paint job on my car. It's very nice, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, what do we have in the back? We have 3 sets of RCA line connectors. We have a Bluetooth antenna, which can be removed from the device, from the amplifier, and we have 3 sets of speaker tabs. The centered ones, the ones in here, are for negative speaker connector, and they are marked with 0 ohms. And then we have 2 pairs for left and right, used to connect different impedance speakers. If your speaker drips down to as low as 4 ohms, you should use the 4 ohm speaker tabs. If your speaker is a light load that is closer to 8 ohms, you should use 8 ohms speaker tabs. But you are also free to experiment. If you do not know what's the impedance curve of your speakers, you are obviously free to check how it sounds from the 4 ohm speaker tabs and 8 ohm speaker tabs, and basically leave it in the tabs that sound better. We also have a standard IEC power input connector, and we have a place for fuse. So we can change the fuse with something more exotic and possibly better sounding. Cayin, I'm looking for the right word here. I wouldn't say it's sensitive to different power cords, but it will surely benefit from the better power cord than the one that's included with the amplifier in the box. Okay, now the tubes and the top of the device. As I said, for the power stage we have 4 pieces of KT88, which are branded with Cayin logo. They look very nice and they sound quite good, but we'll get to the sound later. As for the preamp section, we have 2 Amperex 680U tubes here, and we have Cayin branded 12AU 7 tubes as the phase inverters, and we have some interesting additional switches on the top. Let's start from the most important ones. The first important switch, where's my pointer? Where's my pointer when I need it? Here it is. Okay. This switch is used to choose ultralinear and or triode mode. Basically, in ultra linear mode, we have like 40 watts per channel of power, and the sound is faster, more dynamic, and closer to, let's say, solid state amplifiers. It's also more precise. When we switch the mode to triode mode, we will have that liquid magic, as sometimes people call it, so the sound becomes more tubey. I love it in ultra linear. Okay, so the second switch here has two positions. The first one is power and the second one is bias. What does it do? In the first position, the power meters, power level meters are working as power level meters. The lower position is used for manual setting the bias of the power tubes. The left side power level meter becomes meters that will show you the bias level of the tube. I'm not sure, I try to zoom my camera here. Yes. So when you're manually biasing your tube, you'll be trying to set the needle in the middle of this scale, and the optimum setting position is marked by this slightly fatter line and the dot that's centered underneath. Okay. So that's for the bias setting, and then we have a set of bias pots and selector for the tubes on the left side, and there's another similar setup for the tubes on the right side. So the idea is that with this selector we are choosing the leftmost tube on the inner tube, and the same goes for this switch. In this position, in the left position, we are selecting this tube, and in the right position we are selecting the right tube. As you can see, the switch always goes to neutral position. The idea is that you won't leave it on bias position by mistake. So I'll record another video on setting bias for these tubes, because I have already changed some and rolled some power tubes and have some experience with that. But it's a great thing, because it actually allows you to manually set and correct the bias if you're playing with new tubes, if you're replacing the tubes with the same ones, or if you just want to roll the tubes and check the sound with different type of tube. Okay. So that's about the outside and the build quality. It's very solid. It's built like a tank. Underneath we have anti-vibration feet, quite solid anti-vibration feet. I'll give you the tour of the underneath in another video when I'll be opening the device and showing you what's inside, because this is also interesting thing. The build inside is great. Okay, so I bought it because I was able to buy it, the Bluetooth version, for a bit less than $1,000, and I had a clever plan to buy this and do a review and then sell it locally, because Cayin Jazz 80 retails for 2,200 euro in Europe. So basically I was able to get that for less than 25% of the regular price, more like 20% of regular price. So that was my clever idea, and I think I'll pass on that clever plan because it sounds really good. But before I get to that, I was telling you about 3 line inputs. It also has Bluetooth input, and what's interesting here, that for the Bluetooth input it's using Qualcomm chipset, but it's using another separate chipset for the digital to analog conversion. Most of the chip devices are using DAC integrated into Qualcomm one chip solution, and this Cayin amplifier goes further because it's using as a digital to analog converter. It's using Saber 9018K chip, which basically a couple of years ago was top of the line Saber offering. Still, today, this is a very good digital to analog converter, and it's way better than the Qualcomm integrated ones. So the one thing I'm missing here, and it's also missing on Cayin JS, is USB input. It just begs for USB input because it already has quite good DAC inside. So now, why my little clever plan won't go as I planned? I've connected this amplifier to give it a proper burn-in before the final review, and at the first stage I was also burning in the stock tubes because they need something like 30 to 40 hours to play their best. But I've also got some other tubes. I've also got a set of spare tubes because I was buying this amplifier with some early coupons, and it was also some kind of sale in the March, so it was like 3 months ago, and I wanted to also earn some money on the tubes, on the PS tubes, because you're able to get them directly from manufacturer, and I got a set of matching KT80A T2 PS vein tubes. I don't remember exact price. It was, I think it was a little more than $200, which still is like 3 or 4 times cheaper than the set of these tubes would cost in Europe. So I got the amplifier, I got some additional tubes, I got PS Vein Art S series 12AU S tubes for the phase inverters, and I found some local guy who was selling new old stock Mazda tubes and some other types very cheaply. So I bought a couple of them because, you know, the new old stock tubes are only getting more expensive. There's less and less of them in the market, and I'd say it's an investment like in old wine or gold, because every year the same set, the same type of tubes will be costing more and more. So I got these out of curiosity because a couple of years ago I had some tube buffers and I've had some fun playing with changing tubes. So anyway, I was burning it with the stock tubes, and then I've decided to change the tubes for these additional ones because they also needed some burn-in, and I was going to compare the sound from the tubes. You know how the burn-in works. The device is playing some music in the background, you're running around the house doing the things that you do around the house, and for a couple of days a week I'm working home office, and I'm sitting quite close to my audio setup. So I was working with my computer, I was doing some emails, and then I realized that something is trying to catch my attention. There was a Baba Yetu by Christopher Teen playing in the background, and the thing that was trying to catch my attention was the vocals there. So I wasn't able to focus properly on my work, so I gave up focusing and tried to find out what's happening here. So I've raised the volume, and I was kind of like floored with the voices, with the mid-range clarity, Did you ever had this moment when you're listening to something and you literally have goosebumps? That you're listening to the sound, you're listening to the voice, and you're thinking that someone is here with you in this room, and this basically gives you so much emotion that you are reacting to this emotion physically. I had a moment like that with this amplifier. So I've listened to Baba Yetu like 5-10 times in a row, and then I've hit the next track on my random shuffle list, and the next track was Miami Vice Theme by John Hammer, I think. Well, you know the piece. It's very well known. If you've grown up in the 80s and if you've seen Miami Vice, you know that theme song. So basically, it was also beautiful. It's a piece of electronic music. I've heard it like thousand times during my life. But this time it was very special. It was very peaceful, flowing, like, I don't know, like a gold. I know I'm using strange words and I'm not sticking to technical terms right now, but I was purely amazed. And but basically the finish of the story is that the next day I had to stay late, working up my mails and my things from the office from the previous day, because the day that I've heard that with these new tubes, I haven't done a single task till late in the evening, and that's changed my plans. It's so beautiful that I thought about and almost decided on leaving it with me. I was pretty sure it'll be great with my electrostats. You know, if you follow some of my posts that I'm posting on YouTube, I was writing that you know, you're looking for your holy grail for years, yes, and there's no equipment, there's no amplifier that would blow you away. You're buying and selling and buying and selling and buying and selling, and yes, you're moving forward, but there's nothing that would be really catching your attention. And I had the opportunity to get two such amplifiers at the same time. You know, nothing for years, and then two of them at the same time. The first one is D5 Pro, which is a Dark Zeal clone that I've already reviewed. If I won't forget about that, I'll link to the video in the description. So that was the first one. And this was the second one. But I've connected my electrostats and some of the magic disappeared. Why? Because my electrostats are dropping to as low as 1.2 ohms in the treble region, and this is too difficult load for this amplifier, even in ultra-linear mode. So it wasn't as airy and transparent as I love my amplifiers to be. But then I've connected this back to my Martin Logan Motion speakers, bookshelf speakers, and the magic was here again. So the idea is that it'll stay with me, but this will be my second setup here upstairs, actually third one, counting the one for home cinema, but this one will be connected solely to my Martin Logan speakers. I'll be testing maybe some other speakers that are not as heavy load as electrostats, but with this Martin Logan Motion speakers, the real magic happens. So this gets me to the sound quality description. This video will be quite long, so sorry about that. Sit back, enjoy, grab a cup of coffee or grab a cup of whatever you like. So the sound, starting with the bass. It has very natural, very fast, very textured bass. It's a great quality bass, though it's not exactly like the best solid state bass. The best solid state bass would hit you in your stomach and you'll actually feel pain. This one is a very good quality bass, but it's more like a natural bass, like from the, I don't know, bass guitar or something like that. Then the mids. The mids are really natural. This is something that absolutely captured me, and even with stock tubes, this is a great amplifier that has absolutely great mids. I don't know if there are many reviews of Cayin Jazz 80 on the web at the moment. When I was looking for them, there was just a couple of them in Korean and in German, and every reviewer is agreeing on the fact that this is absolutely stunning amplifier. So the mids are absolutely gorgeous, like liquid gold, and they get only better with better tubes. And these gorgeous mids are extending into absolutely beautiful treble. The treble is airy and transparent. And this was the first thing that I was paying attention to when I unpacked the amplifier, because for quite a long time I was trying to convince myself that the tube amplifiers should sound good, yes, because every audiophile says that tube amplification is better than solid state amplification, and my experiences were completely different. Prior to this amplifier, every other tube gear that I had, regardless of tube rolling, was sounding like I would put a wet blanket on my speakers. And yes, some guys say that it's musical, it's natural, but no, it's not. It doesn't work for me. And this amplifier is something that changed my mind about that. Because even with stock tubes, which are basically very good tubes, it was absolutely transparent and airy. It was on the same level with my solid state equipment. So it passed my first check of the transparency and treble quality. And it's very well extended, but it's never harsh, never sibilant. The treble here is as sweet as the mids. Okay, and this gets us to detail and holography. Detail retrieval with stock tubes, like it is, like you see it right now, is absolutely very good. This was my second thing that I've noticed here, and my second condition for this amplifier to stay with me. The detail retrieval is absolutely gorgeous, and the holography. The other thing that everyone says is that tube amplifiers tend to have this stunning holography, this real-life presence when you can pinpoint the location of instruments, of singers, and that everyone is 3D-like. Yes, it's true. I wouldn't use such big words here, because in my opinion it's not better than the high-quality solid-state gear that I have. Nevertheless, it's very good. Yes, you do have that pinpoint location. Yes, you have this airiness between instruments. They are not fuzzy. You can precisely say that, I don't know, the guitar is on the left and it's a little in the back, and the singer is not exactly in the center, but he or she is standing, I don't know, about 1 meter to the left, etc., etc. So it's also very good. So all the qualities of the good sound are here, and I will do another review of the tubes that I was using, and I will be using with this amplifier, because right now I have, like, I don't know, 6 or 7, no more, no wait, 10 sets of tubes. You know, tube rolling is dangerous. It's dangerous to your health, and it should be printed on every box of every tube, because once you're into tube rolling, you find yourself about 1 AM in your bathtub with cold water, looking at your phone and reading some obscure web threads from 2001, where two guys were arguing about the production line for KT88 or KT120, whether they were produced in Czech Republic or in Slovakia, or maybe, yes, they were in Czech Republic, but the machine was bought from Russia. So stay away from that, it's dangerous. On the other hand, tubuling is fun. And I would actually say that I should do 2 reviews of this amplifier. The first one with the stock tubes. With the stock tubes, it's very good, and I can blindly recommend this to anyone, especially when you buy not the Cayin Jazz 80, but when you buy Cayin MK-45MK3. Why? Because it's way cheaper. It's basically the same amplifier. The only things that I would care for would be, I don't know, having a remote, but it doesn't pain me. Because I'm setting the volume here to my regular listening level plus 10 or 15%, and I'm changing the volume with remote from my digital to analog converter within that small range, to be able to change it slightly upwards and slightly downwards around this middle point of my regular listening level. So lack of a remote here is nothing that would be bad for me. And I love the price. Yes. And there's one thing. As I said, the first revisions of MK-45MK3 apparently didn't have the slow start inside, the slow start circuit. The thing is that this device, this particular amplifier with 12 AU7 and 6 U8 tubes does have a slow start. When you power it on for like a minute, it will be quiet and warming the tubes, and after a minute the sound will start to emerge, which basically means that it's using about 60 seconds to get the tubes to the right temperature. Okay, so apparently it has slow start. And I should do another review with another set of tubes, because if you change the stock tubes to something better, this amplifier scales perfectly well. And then you realize that just by changing the tubes, you're getting something like completely new equipment. It should be another video on my experiences with this amplifier with better tubes, because with better tubes this is absolutely stunning, and this is something that will surely stay with me, connected to my Martin Logan motion speakers. When I've heard that with motions, I went so far that I spent half of the night looking for offers on used motions, but not bookshelves, but floor standers, to get another floor standers here for my listening room, to have that beautiful magic, but in larger size. Okay, what else? One thing that I forgot to mention, but I've realized just now, is the power switch. The power switch is on the side, and it works like that, simply, yeah? And I love the design. I absolutely love this design. Up to this point, I have had only amplifiers that would have the power switch on the front or in the back. On the front is fine, why not? But it's not always looking fine. On the back is horrible for various reasons. My furniture here is made to look good and work good, but it's not made for the hand that has to go to the back and look for something and try to find it and then switch. Having the switch on the side means that it's invisible from the front. Yeah, see that? It's still invisible, and you can easily switch it on and off completely, not to go to standby mode, but completely cutting off the power. So I love it. So I've covered the build quality, I've covered the outputs, inputs, switches, spots, etc. I will have another video on tube rolling and setting the bias, because I want to help you with that. And I will also be changing the tubes to another set of Acme tubes that I got. Okay, I'll do another video on the insides. Why? Because this video is already over half an hour long, and in order to get to the insides, I need to turn it upside down, and it's really, really heavy. Okay, I've covered the sound qualities, I've covered why it will be staying with me. Once again, absolute meat magic. Yes, you'll be asking me about comparison with Musical Fidelity A1 clone that I've reviewed recently, and it's also staying with me. And you'll inevitably ask me which one is better. And my answer would be, which one is better, Ferrari or Lamborghini? Would you rather choose Ferrari or Lamborghini? Well, my answer to that is, I want to have them both. I don't have to choose. I don't want to choose. I can have them both. I think I wouldn't be able to say that one is better than the other one. Yes, Musical Fidelity is cheaper. Yes, that's beside the point. So, okay, the last one thing is the cage. The cage that's used to protect the tubes from your hands and your hands from the tubes. The tubes go as high as 120 degrees centigrade for the power tubes. So it's not a very good idea to touch them with your hands. Though that was one of the first things that my wife did, because she said, it looks pretty, can I touch it? Ow! Okay. I've also seen in one of the review on the web some big reduction of some audio market had put the cage like that. Yeah. Yes, you can do that. It will fit, but you'll have these nice silicone spots protecting the cage from scratches in the front, and I hate that. So let's remove that slowly. I don't want to scratch anything. So I think I've covered everything. No, I haven't covered two important things. The first one is temperature. Yes, the power tubes go to over 120 degrees centigrade, so they are really hot. The whole unit, the transformers are like 30 or 40 degrees centigrade, checked with my laser temperatures meter. And the power consumption. The power consumption, as far as I remember when I was checking this, was like almost 200 watts constant power. So regardless if it's playing or if it's idle, it'll use like 200 watts of power. So not exactly cheap, not exactly Class D equivalent. That's it. We're close to 40 minutes by now. I hope there's still somebody listening to this. Once again, I absolutely love it. I love the build quality. I absolutely love the sound quality. It's amazing. And my wallet loves the price. My wallet loves the price because I got it, the Bluetooth version, the more expensive version. I got it for like less than $1,000. And the retail price here in Europe is 2,200 euro. So it's wow. I think you've seen the LDAC mark here, so I won't dwell on the Bluetooth codecs, but it covers them all. Yes, high praise from me. I can recommend this to you. I would recommend this as a Cayin Jazz 80 with full retail price. It's that good. I would recommend this amplifier for you if you would have to shell for it like 2,200 euro. I would still recommend this amplifier to you. But for less than $1,000, it's pure steal. especially if you're into turbo rolling and if you'll get some nice PS vane or some new old stock tubes for turbo rolling. So, thank you for staying with me for so long. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos, and see you and hear you next time, guys. Bye. Splendid.